Hello and welcome back to the final part of our High School Musical build series. I'm so excited. I think the build turned out way better than I ever expected it to. I still think someone else could do a way better job recreating this iconic high school build, but I think I did a pretty good job and I'm proud of what I built. So today we're going to be furnishing the second floor of the interior. So you can see I'm deciding on the flooring. At first I was going to use the same flooring as the downstairs, and then I was like, no, usually upstairs in high schools it's like carpet. It probably wouldn't be like a stone tile. So I went with this university carpet. It doesn't really look like carpet, but it is. And I chose it because I felt like it felt more fancy than like the carpet I was gonna choose, which you might have caught a glimpse of. It just looks more raggedy, and I felt like this school would be fancy. Like, they have a 2-story cafeteria, so I feel like they would have something fancier. I don't know, maybe that's just me though. So I did end up going with this university carpet. I put it in a lot of the rooms, but I did put the stone in a few of the more like crafty rooms where like you wouldn't want like carpet. But here we're just filling in the hallway with a ton of lockers. Here you can see me deciding if I wanted to change the carpet or not. But there are so many lockers, so your sim will have no issues claiming one. There's literally like 100 in the whole build, I feel like. So there's definitely enough lockers. And we're gonna start off by furnishing the library. So I realized that this library is very small. It's not the biggest library, but I did manage to fit in a librarian's desk, and then that corner is cut out to be the computer lab. So I guess I could have technically made this room a little bit bigger. But I chose to do it smaller, and I feel like for The Sims you don't need a giant library. So again, kind of balancing that line between functional in The Sims and realistic to real life. I also added a few desks where your sim could just do homework or study or something. I don't know if they would. I don't know if they would, but it's there if they want to. And I just lined everything with bookshelves, really. I added as many as possible. And yeah, I also added this cute little like comfy chair section in that little U shape. And I think it turned out really cute. So if your sim wanted to come and read a book, they can. And yeah, and it's actually kind of funny because at first I didn't think I'd be able to fit a librarian's desk, but I did, and I'm really happy with it. You'll see in a second, I used a desk from Get to Work, so it has like some stuff already cluttered on it, and I added a computer for them, and then I also added that little book cart from Get to Work that I wish was functional as a bookshelf, but it's not. But I just thought it would be cute because it's kind of like maybe like those are the book returns or something, or the books that got left out that need to be put away. So here you can see me doing this little area. And yeah, I gave them a slightly nicer desk chair because like this is the library and they deserve a comfy chair. I don't know. There's that book cart I was talking about. And I think I end up putting up a poster and I think a framed article as well. But for now, I'm moving on to the computer lab. Computer lab is very simple. I used tables instead of desks so that I could fit more computers. And then in the back corner, there's a desk. I don't know if I use a desk or a table, but there's only one computer in that little back corner. So I feel like that would be the coveted desk that like everyone wants because you don't have to sit next to anybody else. Or maybe teachers would use that one or something, I don't know, but there was a corner there for it, so I decided to put one there. Here I am switching it out. I have a cat, like, positivity poster. I feel like it says hang in there. And I added a framed article by the librarian's desk, because I feel like that would make sense. Maybe the librarian wrote an article or something. I don't know. And here I am just trying to find some decorations, some decor. It was really hard because I didn't want to add more windows to the exterior, because I felt like it would look weird. But I also didn't know what to add as far as decor on the walls in some spots. So, I don't know. But now I'm moving on to the art room. So the art room has a few different things. It has the candle making station. It has 4 easels, and then it has also some of the gemology tables from Crystal Creations. So there's a few creative activities here. There's also like a woodworking room later on. But I felt like this was a good mix of stuff. And then this way, if you don't have like a gemology table yet, but you want your teen sim to get into gem cutting, they can start out at the high school. Like, you can take them to the high school a lot and they can use theirs. So I feel like it works out. I also found this really cute like art display corkboard thing from Growing Together, and it fit perfectly. Like, everything should still be functional around it, but it's also displaying more artwork, so I really liked that about it. And yeah, I put those cork boards that I just added with like the notices on it, like the papers attached to it, in a lot of the rooms up here, because I felt like these were like club rooms almost. So I felt like, I don't know, there's an event going on, or like maybe the next club meeting, stuff like that would be posted there. And now we're working on the chess room. I added so many chess tables, like maybe one would be being used, but you could just join them. So there's definitely more chess tables than necessary, but I think that's okay. And again, I was struggling so much with what to add to the walls. A lot of the walls end up being mostly blank. But honestly, that's not too unrealistic. I just felt like we didn't have what I wanted. And now we're working on the yoga / meditation room. And this is the one to me that feels very like, would they even have this? Like, would they have a yoga room / would there be mirrors on the walls? Because I do add mirrors. I feel like realistically, this would be a regular classroom. They would push all the desks and chairs to the back of the room and then set up their yoga mats, or they would do it in the gym. But obviously, if I did that, it would look weird. I don't know, like, I wanted it to look like a basketball court, not like people were doing yoga on it, so. And at this point, I had so many rooms up here. I was trying to come up with activities for your Sims to do that kind of made sense in a high school. So this just happens to be one of them. And here I was looking for something to put on that wall. I wanted like a bigger tree. If you size that tree up, it's too big. So now we're working on the woodworking room, and I also added the fabrication stations to this room as well. It kind of felt like a more like hands-on kind of crafting room, so I felt like it deserved its own room. Kind of like, I don't know, like woodshop class or something. And I feel like a lot of these classrooms would actually normally be on the first floor because you want that cement in the rooms. However, our first floor isn't really, like, this high school is not that big compared to like an actual high school building. I feel like there would be so many rooms. There would probably be an entire art wing and like woodworking wing, where like you do crafts and stuff. There might even be multiple gyms, at least if you went to a high school like mine. So again, it's kind of teetering that line of like what's realistic and what works in The Sims, and then also putting my creative spin on things. I also added some desks in this room, and I added like blueprints and, you know, little like It's like a clutter item from Dream Home Decorator, and I kind of imagine they would be picking color swatches from it, like trying to decide what they want their project to look like. But now we're moving on to the robotics room, and this room is literally just the robotics stations, which I think might be nice because if you want your sim to start getting into robotics, if you know you want them to do that, maybe you're gonna play with university or something, or just the robotics station and the engineering career, you can get your teen a head start by using the robotics station at the high school, especially if you don't have one at your house. And I just added a little desk in there as well. I actually go back in later and add a robot decal because I forgot we had that. And now we're on to the science lab. I ended up using these large bar height tables. I think they're from university as well. And I put 2 of them together so that they would be wider. That's kind of what I had in high school, except the room would have been bigger and the lab tables would have been kind of around the perimeter of the room with desks in the middle. But this is primarily, I don't know, a science class that only does labs. I don't know. So this is what we have going on. Maybe Science Club also meets here. I tried to add a little bit of clutter. Maybe they're doing dissections or, I don't know, like some sort of lab. So I just added a bunch of what I felt would work for clutter on the tables. There's me adding the robot, because I was like, you have to have a robot in the robotics room. And now we're moving on to the debate club room, and then we just have the music room left. So the debate room, I added 2 of the debate, podiums, and then I just added some seats, really. I will say this room does not have any windows. There's a few rooms in this build that don't have windows, and that is unfortunate. However, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like, I didn't design it in a way for all the rooms to have windows because the exterior was supposed to be replicating something, and then the interior is kind of replicating something else, like where it would be sets versus the actual school. And I wanted to have a specific type of staircase, so it just kind of worked out that way. But I think we're about to move on to the music room, and the music room I actually did something kind of cool with. I split it up, so I made a little stage for the piano and some microphones, and then I actually added a wall, and what I did was I cut it off basically and added some chairs, so maybe like you're practicing for a performance in there. And then after that, on the other side, I'm gonna add like the instruments and stuff. And I actually add a glass door and windows so that like people could kind of look through, but I imagine it would be like soundproof at the same time. I don't know, I just thought it was kind of a cool feature. So I'm gonna actually add some guitars, another piano, and a mix table, because I feel like I don't use that item a lot, but it would be fun to have, and it's something that you might not have in your home. So that's kind of the theme of this second floor of the building. Things that you wouldn't have at your house that you might want to use. So I tried to add in as many things as possible for your Sims to do here, even after school, before school, on the weekends if you want to come, because I don't think the lot ever closes. But I really hope that you enjoyed this little mini build series. I had a lot of fun doing this build. You can find the furnished build and the unfurnished build on the gallery. My gallery ID is just tab221. You can see it also in the caption of the video. Here are some screenshots of the floor plan as well as the exterior of the build. Thank you for coming along with me on this little mini build series journey, and I'll see you all next Friday with something new. I don't know, I guess we'll all find out. Alright, I'll see you then. Bye!